This is the story of a secret British Army unit set up to deal with enemies of the state on the streets of the United Kingdom.
So what was the mission, as you understood it?
To draw out the IRA and to minimise their activities.
Minimise their activities?
Yes.
In what way?
Well, if they needed shooting, they'd be shot.
Now, after 40 years of silence, members of this undercover unit speak candidly about what they did for Queen and country.
We were not there to act like an army unit. We were there to act like a terror group.
This is a 9mm SMG, a Sterling, but this is a little bit beyond the normal SMG because it's fitted with a silencer.
We picked up shells which went right down the street there for about another 20 yards, and it's a Sterling automatic.
We've investigated the unit and discovered evidence that this branch of the British state sometimes behaved like the IRA and shot unarmed civilians.
He told me that he thought he was going to die. And I told him, no.
Tonight we track down one soldier accused of firing on innocent citizens.
Hiya. Hello. Hi, Mr. Williams. Yes. John Ware is my name.
40 years on, the victims and their relatives still want answers.
Oh yes, we want the truth. We don't want to stop if we get to the truth.
People like us had to make decisions under horrendous pressure and make the right decision. That's why I'm here today and they're not.
In January 1972, British paratroopers shot 26 unarmed civilians during a protest in Londonderry. 14 people died in what became known as Bloody Sunday.
What happened next is obscure. The army say their men were fired on by...
Getting to the truth took nearly 40 years and an inquiry costing nearly £200 million. Some of those soldiers are now being investigated for murder and attempted murder.
What happened on Bloody Sunday was both unjustified and unjustifiable.
Today, case files of the conflict's 3,260 dead are being reviewed as part of the peace process. Our investigation has discovered another group of soldiers who now stand accused of shooting unarmed civilians in 1972. These soldiers were undercover, and what they did has been airbrushed from the official record. But some have now emerged from the shadows.
I was told it was a plainclothes, small unit operating mainly in Belfast, and it was called the M.R.F.
Which stands for?
Well, it actually stands for Military Reaction Force.
7 former members of the M.R.F. have spoken to us about what the unit did. 3 agreed to go in front of the cameras on condition that we disguise their identities.
I travelled from Liverpool, ended up in Belfast on a very dark night, waiting on the harbour there, waiting for them to pick me up, unarmed, and eventually ended up in Hollywood.
Palace Barracks.
Palace Barracks.
Inside the Palace Barracks was a big compound, a big corrugated iron compound. And to look at it, it just looked like a builder's storage yard. Anyway, we pulled up at the main gate of this compound, and the gates just opened. We couldn't take anything, not even photographs. No ID card, no tags, no letters with addresses on, nothing.
Anything tying us with military were totally out.
We never wore a uniform. Very few people knew what rank anybody was anyway. I knew the boss was a captain.
These are the only known photographs of the M.R.F. compound, tucked away inside a British Army base, where ordinary soldiers were forbidden entry. This top-secret unit had around 40 men, hand-picked from across the British Army.
These were selected men who had had experience, who were well-trained, knew their weapons, reliability, and all the rest of those things which make a good soldier, and put into teams and sent across.
We were also told that we officially don't exist on paper. The unit doesn't exist on paper. And if you're caught, you'll be killed. And if you are caught and killed, the government would probably put out a story that you were just a soldier in plain clothes that was caught and by accident.
The unit carried out round-the-clock patrols of West Belfast, heartland of the IRA, in unmarked cars. The cover didn't always work.